Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel. I'm here to talk about some NBA news. So we're going to get right straight into it here. So, finally, it has happened. We have some breaking news here. Pearl Shams trading at 11:56 a.m. The Trailblazers star Damian Lillard has requested a trade out of Portland. Sources tell at The Athletic and at Stadium. The Miami Heat and Brooklyn Nets are among leading suitors for one of the NBA's 75 greatest players ever. Damian Lillard has finally, after all this time, all the reports this offseason that I've read in the news, we finally get the Damian Lillard trade request. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. Or it's about Dame time he requests a trade. He's finally going to the grind. The grind ran from him. He's finally going to the grind. Finally, no more drama about Damian Lillard staying with that team. But dropping dimes 20, he remains undefeated. He tweeted something yesterday. I don't know who this is, but it's like, it must be a close NBA source. But remember, he said yesterday, or whoever he heard, I guess it's a he said yesterday, the amateur NBA analyst, my legacy is never on the line because I am him. Know that. That account has been snapping all off season. Woj and Shams scared of that competition. But dropping dimes is actually putting Shams and Woj to shame this free agency. But he's him. But yeah, let's just talk about here. Damian Lillard finally requests a trade. Finally free. I think Miami Heat are obviously the favorite. And I've talked about it. If he were to get traded, if he were to request a trade, the Heat would be the favorites to land him. The Celtics, I think, could be another option. Because I feel like they can offer a better trade package than Miami. I think Miami Heat are the favorite, but the Celtics have a better trade package, and I think the Celtics could work out for Damian Lillard. But I still just have that feeling he's going to go to Miami and form a big three with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Because I hear freeing up some cap space. Maybe this is their plan. But this is a golden opportunity here for the Heat. You don't mess it up. I don't care if you have to include Tyler Hero on this trade if you're the Miami Heat. If you're a Heat fan, you're probably saying, oh, I don't care. Include Tyler Hero, and I probably would too. But it'd be tough to give up Tyler Hero, but for one of the best NBA top 75 players, I would do it. But just know, dropping dimes 20 is him. But we have another thing to talk about Damian Lillard. Per Ramon Shelburne says he has the, quote, deep respect for the Spurs organization. Per Ramon Shelburne, Damian Lillard talking about the Spurs organization. I got your hopes up just a little bit, didn't I? Yeah, he's trying to get their hopes up of going to the Spurs. He's just trying to get Spurs fans' hopes of going up. But just imagine Damian Lillard and Victor Wembanyama. That would be a good duo. I don't know what this has to do with anything. But why are people trying to make news that doesn't exist? Like, he ain't going to the Spurs, man. Why would he request a trade just to go to the Spurs? And we just got some news coming in here. Per David Daldrick, DC, that Damian Lillard is only focused on the Heat. And Shams even tweeted out he wants to go to an Eastern Conference contender. So, I don't know where that report came from. Just because he says he has respect for the Spurs organization doesn't mean he's going to go there. Because he wants to go to an Eastern Conference contender. And he's only focused on the Heat right now, basically. But we don't need an update every 5 minutes. Just let us know what happens. We obviously know the Heat are the favorite. But let's get into some more stuff. That was the first 5 minutes talking about Damian Lillard. The Sixers have no interest in including Tyrese Maxey in a potential trade for Damian Lillard, per J.K. Fisher. Teams want Dame. Teams believe Dame wants to go to Miami, so the Sixers don't have any interest in trading Tyrese Maxey in a potential trade for Damian Lillard. Well, hate to break it to them, they're not getting Damian Lillard because he's going to go to the Miami Heat. The Sixers are just such in a terrible fucking position right now. Well, if you're not willing to give a young player like Maxey and some picks, then you're not going to get Lillard then. Hate to break it to you. So, per J.K. Fisher here, OG Anunoby is seeking a bigger role on offense and wants to handle the ball more, per J.K. Fisher. Quote, Anunoby told representatives during meetings with prospective agents, according to people familiar with the situation, he was searching for great ball handling and playmaking duties in advance of his upcoming trade talks, end quote. I know when people say, oh, why is this dude constantly talking about, like, superstar? When you're discussing the topic of, quote, role players, he's more than decent. He's the elite level prototype wing role player that puts contending teams over the top. But any team could use him. Because I think he's a really good player. They should just trade him now. Just request a trade. Like, I swear, anybody in the league would want OG Anunoby. Toronto should just trade him. I mean, Siakam too. I just don't get it. Like, the core they have right now isn't going to win shit. But his handles suck, though. So some teams that are interested in Terrence Davis, the Sacramento King, the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, two Eastern Conference contenders, the Dallas Mavericks, and Toronto Raptors. Interesting. Toronto Raptors, his former team. He's a decent little player right there off the bench. So, per a report, Josh Richardson turned down more money from another team after a conversation with Eric Spoelstra. So, from another team, he turned down more money after he talked to Eric Spoelstra. I mean, obviously, he turned undrafted players into fucking starters. But Spoelstra the GOAT. That Eric Spoelstra stock going up. So, with Fred VanVleet's contract last night that he signed, I talked about in my free agency recap. He'll roughly make $43.3 million per year in his next deal. That's just way too much for fucking Fred VanVleet. I'm sorry. It's Fred VanVleet. Who the Rockets think this is? Steph Curry? This is the biggest overpay for free agency. I mean, I get you have like an AAU squad out there. You need proven vets to lead these guys, such as like Amen Thompson. I get that. But he'll develop now, I guess. I mean, he'll develop now. Per Barlow 500, I'm going over some more stuff from yesterday. The Boston Celtics met with Delano Banton. I'm sorry, respectfully. Who? Who the fuck is Delano Banton? Is he a 6'7" point guard? Oh yeah, he shoots 29% from 3. Yeah, fucking jog shit. The Suns will let Jock Landale enter unrestricted free agency per J.K. Fisher. He's gonna be like their 6th best player. I don't even know why they're letting him enter unrestricted free agency. Like, he can play. He was even taking minutes from Ayton in the playoffs. But I'm not gonna lie, this dude looks like fucking Jake Paul. Doc Rivers is a potential candidate to replace Jeff Van Gundy at ESPN, per the NY Post. Jesus Christ. Dude, that voice on TV, I can't even do a fucking Doc Rivers voice. That voice on TV, once I hear that raspy shit, TV's getting muted. I ain't listening to that. Because I am not listening to that. That is one of the worst scenarios possible. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that ashy ass voice on TV. Brian Windhorst said yesterday on ESPN about the Tyrese Maxey situation I talked about, where they weren't going to give him a contract extension right now. Quote, the Sixers are not going to extend Tyrese Maxey this summer. Want to know why? Because they might trade him. End quote. From Brian Windhorst. He's him. But what does this do for Philly? If you let another young player go like this and Tyrese Maxey not extend him and let him go, that would be a big mistake. Because they have no picks. I don't know. But they better have at least some sort of confidence they can land a superstar by trading Maxey if they do. Not offering him an extension this summer can damage their relationship. I understand Philly's thought process, but I think Maxey should feel disrespected by the Sixers, not giving him that contract extension and pretty much locking him up for the next few seasons. But I'm gonna talk about the other free agent signings from this morning, and go throughout the day into tonight's free agency recap, because I have a lot of videos to do. Two wrestling recaps with Money in the Bank and AW Collision, Dodgers game, and I forgot the other video. I think that might be it. But I'll talk about this free agent signing. Desmond Bane signed a 5-year, $207 million max extension, first $200 million deal in Grizzlies history. It's crazy. He got a $200 million deal before Ja Morant. That's wild. And I'm talking about this one because this happened as soon as I ended the video last night doing the recap. Look, I think he's good, but don't get me wrong, he's not worth fucking $2 million. Or $2 million. $207 million. At least just in my opinion. But, whatever. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this video, really, ladies and gentlemen. So, until next time, I have a lot. Peace.